Right, I'm here again, back with Sophia Myles. We were talking earlier, obviously, about Doctor Who. Let's talk a bit more detail about the episode that you did, the Girl in the Fireplace. How did you come to get that role in the first place? What was the audition process like?
Well, there wasn't actually an audition. What happened was that I'd made a movie for Universal, the live action version of Thunderbirds, and I played Lady Penelope. Now, Stephen's son, his eldest son at the time, was about 7, and Thunderbirds happened to be his absolutely, the most favourite movie that he'd ever watched, and watched it over and over and over and over and over again. And so Stephen obviously had been, has had to watch it. So he'd seen me. And I think when he wrote the episode, he actually wrote it thinking, oh, she'd be great. And so I got a phone call. I didn't actually have to audition for that one. So it was really lovely.
The Thunderbirds connection you talked about, of course, I had big sci-fi connections, not just the theme and the Andersons, but you were directed by Star Trek's Jonathan Frakes.
Jonathan Frakes, yeah, who's the most lovely man in the whole wide world. I love Jonathan, and a brilliant, brilliant director. So yeah, it's all kind of come full circle because I'm now really good friends with Gerry Anderson. So we've, spoken a lot about it, and yeah, really, really cool. I loved it. I loved it, making Thunderbirds.
When we last spoke in Derby last year, I think it was, you were working on another Anderson series, CGI series.
Yes.
Firestorm?
I had Firestorm, indeed. Yeah, which is still a work in progress. But yeah, I'm a kind of main voice of that series. So I haven't heard word from Jamie. They're kind of on lockdown, obviously, at the moment with production. But yeah, I think it's going to be great. They're doing it so it looks exactly like Gerry Anderson's original way of, shooting. They're shooting with proper puppets and the whole thing. So it should be really cool.
And when you joined the cast of Doctor Who, you already knew Ben Adams, didn't you? Sorry, Ben Adams. Ben Turner. Ben Turner,
yeah. So Ben, this is funny, right? So I went to sixth form college to do my A-levels, and Ben was in my English literature class. Now, he knows this now because I have admitted it to him, but I had a massive crush on him, and I was so shy. I mean, always when he would speak to me, I was like, oh my God. And but he would also ask me for my English homework because he never did any work. And I would just, of course, I'd just give him all of my notes and stuff like that. But yeah, I had a massive crush on Ben. And so it was really funny when he got the job, obviously. I didn't tell him then, but I've since told him.
When did you find out he was in the cast with you?
Well, I spoke to Eros, Lynn, the director, and said, oh, who's playing King Louis? And he said, Ben Turner. And I was like, you're joking. You are absolutely joking. That's crazy.
Oh, that's nice, though, to have that connection.
Yeah, indeed.
Especially someone you've had a crush on. Fantastic.
Yeah.
So there you are. You go along to Cardiff to do the episode. You've got that big read-through with everyone there. That must have been quite daunting.
Yeah, I mean, read-throughs are always the most horrific experiences for actors because you're just terrified, and every actor is convinced that at the end of a read-through they're going to get a tap on their shoulder from the producer and say, look, it was lovely of you to come, but actually we're going to fire you. So yeah, I kept my head down and I just read it as well as I could. And but it's funny, I've seen a video, they shot a kind of behind the scenes, bit, and they shot video footage in the read through. And if you look closely, Russell is looking at me like a kind of absolutely like all eyes, like, is she okay? Is it going to work? But I didn't notice that at the time, thankfully.
Well, probably more than any other guest, yours was a totally pivotal role. So I suppose it did have to work, didn't it?
Yeah.
We talked earlier about the romance element to the script. Was that quite a surprise to you, bearing in mind you're doing a big Saturday tea time sci-fi show?
No, I didn't. I mean, I didn't really think about it. I mean, like I said earlier, I just knew that snog the kiss was a huge turning point in the series, and it was going to make a massive impact. It was going to cause a lot of debate and excitement. So, and then obviously it was a romance around the kiss. So I mean, I played it as if it was a love story. I didn't think too much about the sci-fi element of it, really.
And it was certainly it was certainly implied that it was more than just a platonic relationship, as well as she takes his hand
Oh
and
God,
leads him
yeah.
off to the bedroom.
Yeah, of course. I mean, of course it was not platonic. What are you talking about?
I've just been polite.
Oh Lord, no! If she'd have had her way, are you kidding? Let's go.
You had many fantastic costumes, which looked incredible on screen. But what was that like to wear in studio?
Well, so costumes like that, historical costumes, are always just so uncomfortable. You've got corsets on, so you're constrained. You can't really eat at lunchtime, and they're also super heavy because you've got those big bustles at the side and massive amount of skirts underneath. So no, they're not. It's a pain because you know they're going to look fabulous, but they're just really shit to have to wear. So, but you suffer it for the art, I guess.
And I suppose particularly in some of the high action scenes and robots fighting their way around the place, that would be quite difficult to do.
Yeah, I mean, you have to learn how to maneuver, and there's a certain way to walk so that you don't like kick up the front of the skirt every time you take a step, and and it took a while. I mean, I fell over numerous times and hit the floor, but you just do, and eventually you get it right.
Is that still part of drama school training? Are you still shown how to move in classic period costumes and deportment?
So I don't know, because I never went to drama school. So I've just winged it my whole career, really, in every aspect.
Oh, I'm going to digress for a moment then and ask you, so how did you come into the profession?
Oh, so I was spotted I did a school play for my GCSE, part of my GCSE drama, course. And, oh, hang on, my dog's moving around. What are you doing? You're too hot. Hold on a sec, guys. Where are you going? Come here. Can I lie down? Lie down. Hang on a second. Good boy. You got a bit too hot under the duvet. Where were we? Drama school. No. So I didn't go to drama school, but I was doing a play at my regular school. And Julian Fellows, who's the big, massive producer, writer of Downton Abbey, he came to my play because they were looking for a young girl to play Lady Jane Grey in an adaptation of The Prince and the Pauper that he'd written for BBC. And after my play, he asked me to audition for the role, and I got that role. And basically just completely fell in love with being on a film set. I thought it was the most magical thing in the entire world and wanted to do more of it. So I then managed to get myself an agent, and then I did a movie produced by actually Harvey Weinstein, in fact. And then that movie was very big in America. So I went out to Hollywood when I was about 18, 19, and determined to sort of crack America. And then off it went, really. And I've still managed to wing it for almost 25 years now.
Keep on winging it. That's great. And I noticed in your CV as well, you also did a production of Dracula.
Yeah,
playing
I did.
Lucy, is that right?
Lucy, yeah, I did that again. I think that was around about just after Doctor Who, I think it was. I can't quite remember now. I feel so old. I can't remember all of this stuff. It's difficult to answer your questions. Goodness.
Right. Did you watch the new adaptation of Dracula over Christmas and New Year at all?
No, I didn't. But I've heard that they did one. But no, I didn't. I only watch kids' TV at the moment because I've got a 5-year-old. So it's all
I remember you saying this last time we spoke, that you mainly watch Peppa Pig.
Yeah, we've done a lot of Peppa Pig. We've done Paw Patrol, but we're on to we're starting Harry Potter now. So he's, thank God, a bit older, and we can watch stuff that I actually enjoy too. So he hasn't seen Doctor Who yet.
Oh, when are you going to go down that route?
Okay, well that's a good question, but also the hardest thing in your opinion, which episode? Where should I start him? I'm not going to go. I can't go back like how many years has it been going on? 30 years. Where should I start him? I think I might just start him the beginning of David Tennant. I think because I think that the recent stuff. I think that was it was considered some of the best, wasn't it?
Yeah, that would make sense.
Where would you start it?
Well, the way when I started, if I was you, I would start with your episode.
Really?
Yeah, this is what Mummy did.
Yeah, no, he's not that bothered. He knows that I go into the television, and he said, "Mummy, how'd you get us into the telly?" And I've explained that I teleport myself in there. But yeah, no, well, I think maybe I will, but I might give him a bit of a run up, I think, to that, so that he knows sort of what's going on, because that one's not really, well, it is sci-fi, obviously, because it's all sci-fi, but that's much more like a period drama, isn't it, really?
Yeah, I love the fact that he thinks you're that character from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Is it Mike TV who gets shrunk down into the television?
Yeah, I'm just like Mike TV.
That's brilliant. So you're doing obviously a historical character, historical piece. Did you do your homework? Did you do any research into the original? Nah.
No, I never do any homework for anything. No,
Wing it again.
Winging it. I'm winging it. Come on. You got to wing it. It's the best way. It's easy. Just wing it.
Make it up. That's what actors do. Make it up as you go along. So last question. Was it ever discussed for you all as a cast to have French accents?
Yeah.
It was.
It was. And it was also discussed whether I should start to wear grey wigs at the end, because obviously she gets older. And we did try a number of those sort of grey powdered wigs, but they ended up not using them. But yeah, I did wonder that. I was like, well, why doesn't she have a French accent? But no, they just went against it. That was their decision, not mine.
Oh, it could have been brilliant. You could have all chosen your favourite low character and gone for it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for giving up your time to chat to us today. It's been a real pleasure.
Oh, you're welcome. Where am I going to be able to see this? Where does this go into
this will be broadcast
universe?
on YouTube.
Right. Okay. Brilliant.
Make sure you get a link so you can watch it as well.
Okay.
So once again, thank you very much for all your time. Lovely chatting to you.
Thank you. You too. Thank you.
Take care.